Back now with the panel. Donald Trump's going to be presiding over a divided country. And what's interesting is the same language that conservatives used during the Obama years is now language that's being borrowed by progressives. Let me play for you a little compilation we put together.
We're going to take our country back, and you're either with us or you're against us.
So what is happening to America?
Take our country back.
It leaves me wondering where I've been living and with whom I'm living.
This is not my America. What he stands for is not the America I know and love.
It seems like we're destined to be split-screen America. I don't know, how does he do it?
Yeah,
how does he try to put this back together?
Yeah, we still are America, though. We're still a country that is a country of social mobility. We're still a country of immigrants. We're still a country with common ancestors. And reviving the civics of America and the idea that we're going to be united, at least not right now, but in some common future, and talking in that hopeful way that Martin Luther King did, that Abraham Lincoln did. Seems to me that's the way to
Let me add, Senator Turner and I agree on nothing, but I admire her greatly. We are both from the land, northeastern Ohio. We are both church-attending Browns fans, so we know how to pray and to lose. And we have a lot in common. I admire her greatly. We just disagree. And I do think that re-emerges eventually, that it's politics, not life. But
that's apocalyptic. You know, here's what I feel as if, and boy, did both campaigns do it, apocalyptic rhetoric like this, that if you don't vote this way, the country's gone.
Right.
That's right.
And I think it depends which right turn America's about to take. Is it about to take a Reagan-style right turn where we slash regulations, slash taxes, have a fiscal stimulus program, and there is job growth? That's one option. Or is it going to be a nativist, populist right turn, which adopts some of the anti-immigrant tone, anti-race tone of some of those groups that we've seen in Europe? I mean, the fact that the first foreign politician to congratulate Donald Trump was Marine Le Pen of the National Front, anti-immigrant, anti-Muslim, xenophobic group, and the first foreign politician to visit him was Nigel Farage. I don't even know if they know what image that sends.
And we can't make America great again without love, without hope, without justice, without peace, and without an acknowledgement that the fear that was stoked not only by President-elect Trump's campaign, but also a lot of fear was stoked by Democrats as well. But there are people who are really fearful. I mean, I talked to one of my friends in New York, and she teaches, and she talked about how some of her Hispanic students came in crying, thinking that their parents were going to be deported the next day. We, the collective we, people of leadership on all sides, are going to have to deal with this.
I do think the problem is, to add one thing to his list, it's just competence. That's what I worry about. It's not so much Trump's ideology. I'm not sure there is one. It's just whether he can actually get the job done. It's like me saying, I want to be a heart surgeon. How hard could it be? The heart's over there. You open it up. You put in a new one.
You know, I worry about
it's actually kind of complicated.
I worry about hyper loyalty. I'm an old Nixon guy, and I think we have a merger of Nixon and Rockefeller here on ideology and personality. President Nixon was brought down by blindly loyal partisans. Dean, Colson, Liddy. People he did not know what they were doing that they thought were acting on his part. When he staffs up because of a lack of I am worried about these 4,000 people that come with him. Reagan brought Meese, Baker, and Deaver. It could be Bannon, Conway, and Priebus. But he also had Fred Fielding in the background there, making sure. And Nancy Reagan was a check on everybody right now. That's what worries me.
Hey, one thing we've all been wondering about is Twitter and Mr. Trump. Let me play. This is what he said to 60 Minutes about Twitter.
I'm going to do very restrained. If I use it at all, I'm going to do very restrained. I find it tremendous. It's a modern form of communication. There should be nothing you should be ashamed of. It's where it's at.
Speaking of where it's at, Donald Trump tweeted this morning, and he tweets the following. Wow, the New York Times is losing thousands of subscribers because of their very poor and highly inaccurate coverage of the Trump phenomenon. He was noting a letter that the Times has sent to some subscribers. So that is
your patriotic duty. Subscribe to the New York Times.
There it is. But it's probably how he's going to have a conversation with the press. Is that it's always going to be through Twitter.
Yeah, and the guy is animus-driven. I mean, he wakes up in the morning to get in fights with people. That's been true since the 1980s, and I'm not sure that's going to change. I mean, how often does like a 70-year-old egomaniac change?
I think that's the real concern globally, is that we don't know who we're dealing with. And if he doesn't get his way on trade deals, does he slap tariffs on China and provoke a currency war? If he doesn't get his way with Japan or with Mexico, what's the retaliation going to be? And I think that's what people are nervous about. how quick is he going to be to respond in ways that
Well, look
are
at-
potentially very damaging?
It's interesting here quickly, Hugh. I want to put up the two tweets he did in response to protesters. One was about 7 o'clock at night, as you see here. Looked like thought that the protesters were professional, incited by the media, very unfair. Then at 3 in the morning, about 9 hours later, he says, no, love the fact that small groups of protesters last night had passion for our great country. We all wanted to come together and be proud.
First Amendment is a beautiful thing.
Yeah, suddenly somebody reminded him of that.
Yeah.
Well, as Senator Turner said off camera, Twitter is addictive. It's a lot of fun. It releases stress. It's good fun. There are ways to do it, even as President of the United States. And he's right. It's where it's at. But there is a head of state issue here where you have to be so careful.
He can't have a temper tantrum on Twitter every day.
Yeah, that will be a lot for us to cover. We'll be back in 45 seconds with Endgame and a Washington parlor game that people are already playing. Whom will Donald Trump pick for the Supreme Court? Wait till you hear Lindsey Graham's idea. We'll be right back.
Coming up, Meet the Press Endgame. Brought to you by Boeing. Building the future 1 century at a time.